around now, she is, without a care in the world. Ever sprayed perfume on a swan? That's what did it, I think. What started it. Shouldn't have sprayed it outside in hindsight. We had to run home then to escape the clutches of the lakeside vigilantes, shouting at me. Shouting that I'd sprayed her in the eyes. It was a mist, that's all. A gentle mist that must have been picked up in the moonlight and given a full silhouette of mistreatment. So, we stayed inside yesterday. Stayed inside. She doesn't say anything. She's not a complainer, Pamela. No. But she needs to see the outdoors, the trees, the sky, the lake. And the way I look at it is that if I do everything in my power to make somebody else happy, then I'm doing a bit of good on, right? Someone at least is benefiting from my existence. But we came back to the lake this morning and they remembered. The vigilantes did. As soon as they saw me, they threw sticks, seeds and bread. Say what you will about a setting, but lakeside perambulation plays merry buggery with one's choice of projectile. At least they didn't want to actually catch me, no. They just wanted to register their disapproval with one another, etching in that collective scale a bit deeper. Groups need someone to point their finger at, don't they, eh? It's what keeps them together. Cruel, though. That's what they were shouting. Cruel. And that's what gets me. £44 I paid for that perfume from eBay, including the postage and package. They don't make it anymore. It had to be specific. £44. That's not cruel. I tried to tell her, if anyone was sinned against, £44 for a few hundred mil against the hubbub of hurled insults. I looked down at her. She was quiet again. But I knew in her eyes, I knew what I saw there, I knew that she knew. Or at least, I thought I did, because as soon as the words spilt out of my mouth, as soon as I shouted that it wasn't cruel and that we were in fact friends, Pamela had a whiff of the water and she was away. 3 days we've been living together, 3 days since. Well, I'm £44 and 3 fish suppers down, and already she wanted to end it all too. I looked back at the mob. There was 4 of them, a mobette. Still now they were, awkward. Suddenly not so keen to be of any assistance. That was a problem really, because I never learned to swim. Never learned to swim, and I was taking off my wellies and I was following her in. Those 3 days, jeez. That night I walked past this very spot with every intention of... But then I heard you, didn't I? I heard you. Heard your cry. Looked for you in the dark. Stepping in all manner of stuff before I finally found you nuzzled in the base of the tree with your leg caught on something we couldn't even see. I took it off. Took you home against the shouts of protest in the distance, and I put you in front of the fire, covered you in towels, and we stayed up. We stayed up. 2 nights we stayed up, into the small hours, sometimes talking, sometimes listening, all the time just being. I asked her if she minded my calling her Pamela. She didn't bat an eyelid. It was strange that I did that, but I was tired, my thoughts fuzzy. She always come into my head then, Pamela did. Pamela was the girl from the class, I told her. The girl from the class that everyone remembers. It was never, we were never going to be what all the happy endings would have us believe. And I probably let go of that too late. I watched their date for years. Not in person, only on Facebook. She was the first name I typed in when I got it. No marriage though, not at first, but then she did. But then divorce. 50 now, I am. Heard of my dad passing in his holiday home in Spain, surrounded by his new family. Watched it alone as it happened to me mum. Now here I was, treading water in the middle of the lake, chasing the one listener I had left with what I only hoped was slime slapping against my calves. Pamela, I called. Pamela! I was exactly as far as I'd waded in the other night before I heard her. Before I was brought round. Before we had those 3 days of talking, listening, realising that perhaps there was only one type of ending. Then something happened that I expected even less than spending half a week with a mute swan trying to talk me out of suicide. Derek! Derek, is that you?
Derek,
Is
Derek,
that you?
is that you?
Derek, is that you? I looked over to the bank. Derek, I'm over here! And I looked and she was. Pamela, not 3-day technically kidnapped swan Pamela, but the popular girl from school Pamela, whose name I had ascribed to this disgruntled, limping, aromatic pen, now swimming back to what I took to be her mate, himself, offering small angry circles on the water. Are you drowning? She shouted. No, I'm not drowning. But then with my mouth still open and halfway through the word drowning, it began to fill with water. Then I realised she couldn't have been real. I was drowning. Typical that my actual death would so swiftly follow the decision not to end it all. I was drowning and she was an angel. Living 3 streets apart, but only on Facebook. I drifted then. I drifted away and down and miles away from the lake and the street and the house where I spent most of my life, and I submerged and the shouts and clatter of the world smudged blue and swirled around until they were streaks, until they were nothing, until there'd never been anything. Just one sound was left. That sound was Derek. My name. A name no right-minded person would ever give to a swan. The name Dad sneered at. The name Mum pitied. The name everybody laughed at. The name Pamela had never even... A hand ripped me from the piece, from the quiet world back into the cool November waters of the lake. It was Pamela. Human, not swan. And we were swimming. The water so dark 3 nights ago was gently lapping, cooling, calming. And she stood there on the bank above me. The real Pamela. An angel. Strong bloody angel to pull me from the water. A mermaid. Earrings of algae glistening from her lobes. Facebook, she told me. I messaged her on Facebook in the middle of the night. Said I'd been on the precipice and a mate had talked me down. She was confused then. She said she was told that I'd sprayed perfume on a swan. I said no, it was a mist. And I told her the type, and she said it was her favourite, and I said I knew it was her favourite, and she said I thought they'd stopped making it, and I said they had, but I had a contact. Then that smile. A smile that takes me back to when anything was possible and everything was probable, and because if it wasn't, what the bloody hell was the point of any of this? I'm dry now, I think, sitting here. The wellies help. Human Pamela was gone home. She's fetching blankets and a thermos. She told me to stay here, and I will. I'm looking over the lake with fresh, clean eyes. Pamela, swan, not human, looks at me from the middle of the lake, slowly lowers her long, elegant neck and bowing her head. Below the surface, her leg is hidden. It's okay now, I'm sure it is. Anyone else watching wouldn't know she was there, wouldn't know what she's just done. Anyone else watching wouldn't even look at her. They'd just register the shape of a swan in the distance and barely notice the smell of expensive bloody perfume on the breeze.